but I did not want to end 2020 without giving you another free workout. So I am going to go ahead and call this a choose your own Pilates Adventure. We are going to do either a 25-minute workout or a 50-minute workout. So what we're going to do is two 25-minute halves. It will be full body all the way through, so you can stop at that midpoint or you can continue on with me. I'm just going to start my timer and we're going to get going on our first half. Let's start out by laying down on our mat. Our feet are planted hip bone distance apart, the knees are bent, arms are lengthened by the side. Relax the shoulders and we want to get that lower back flush on the mat. Deep inhale in through the nose and then we'll exhale out through the mouth. Again, nice big inhale. We're going to fill our lungs up completely with air. And then exhale out all of that breath. Big inhale, drawing our breath out to the sides of the ribs into the upper back. And then exhaling, feeling that rib cage knit together a little bit tighter. On our next inhale, we're going to tuck our pelvis, lift the hips up to the ceiling. Exhale, take the arms up and over. Keep the arms reaching back. We're going to round down, upper back, middle back, lower back, sacrum, tailbone lengthens down. Exhale, arms come down. Inhale, hips lift. Exhale, arms go up and over. Want to keep the arms reaching as you lengthen the tailbone forward so we get that two-way oppositional stretch. Then we exhale, draw the arms down. Inhale, hips lift. Exhale, arms. Inhale, round down one vertebrae at a time. And we exhale to draw the arms back down by our side. Again, inhale, hips lift, squeeze the glutes, stay lifted as we move the arms. Then lower the tailbone towards the mat, rounding down one vertebrae at a time. And then we draw the arms back down by our side. We're going to go ahead and make our way to laying on our side for our butterfly stretch. So we're going to line our back up with the edge of the mat. Hands will go behind the neck and head. We'll close up the elbows. And then we're going to draw our legs forward in front of us to tabletop. Knees are stacked. Big inhale, exhale, opening up. Look long past your open elbow. Big inhale here. And then we can exhale to close right back up. Again, deep inhale, exhale, opening up. Rotate, look long past that open elbow. Nice big inhale. And then we exhale to close. Keep those knees glued together. One more. Big inhale. Exhale, open up. Make sure that top knee is not sliding back. Big inhale. And then we can exhale and close. We're going to go ahead and flip sides. Again, lining the back up with the edge of the mat. Our hands will go behind the neck and head. Our legs are drawn to tabletop in front of us. Knees are stacked. Ankles are right under the knees. Elbows are closed in front of the face. Big inhale. Exhale, open up. We want to rotate to look long past that open elbow. Nice big inhale. And then we exhale to close. Again, big inhale. Exhale, open up. Make sure that top knee is not sliding back. Big inhale. Exhale, we can close. One more deep inhale. Exhale, opening up. Nice big stretch for the thoracic spine. Big inhale. And then exhale, close all the way back up. From here, we are going to make our way back to laying on our back on the mat. Arms can be long past the hips, tabletop legs. Nice big inhale. On the exhale, lift the chest up. Option for long legs and pump the arms for our hundreds. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the legs are long, I want your heels together, toes apart. If you have your legs in tabletop, then your feet can be parallel. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get that little fold at the base of your rib cage. Sink that navel point back. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go ahead and bend the legs to tabletop. Relax the head down. Plant your feet onto the mat firmly, hip bone distance apart. On our inhale, chin towards chest, we're going to round our way all the way up to sitting. Now, if your feet lifted up, slide them a little bit further ahead of you. Keep them firmly planted there, and then find your C curve, get that scoop, and slowly round right back down. Again, chin towards chest, round all the way back up. Sit up nice and tall here. Get that scoop and slowly round down one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders touch, then neck and head can draw back. Again, chin towards chest, rounding up all the way. Sit tall. Get that C curve, articulate down through the spine all the way up to the neck and head. Rounding right back up. Find that length in your spine at the top. And then slowly we control that roll down once again all the way to laying down on the mat. We're going to round all the way back up. Once again, sit tall and then find that C curve and rock back. Lay all the way back down. Lengthen the left leg on the mat. Let's extend our right leg up to the ceiling. Finding external rotation, we're going to go across the body, back in line with the hip, and lift straight up. Inhale, down to the left, back in line with that right hip, and lift. We want to make sure our hips stay nice and anchored. We're drawing a half circle here, coming all the way back up to 90 degrees. One more in this direction. Let's reverse straight down now. Go across the body and back up to the top. Inhale, straight down across the body and back up. 5 in our reverse direction. Again, we want to make sure our hips are nice and anchored on the mat. Straight down across the body and back up. Now the right leg's long on the mat. That left leg is up to the ceiling, finding that external rotation. And then go across the body, back in line with that left hip, and lift. Make sure your left hip is not lifting up off of the mat. And you are doing 5 in this first direction, across the body, back in line with the hip, and lifting straight up. Then we reverse straight down. Go across your body and back up to 90 degrees. Again, inhale down, exhale across the body and back up. Reach long out of the hip socket, sink the navel to spine to lift. Inhale it down, exhale across and back up. One more here, and then we can bend the knee. We're going to plant our feet back down onto the mat, keep them firmly planted, chin towards chest, and we're going to round all the way back up to sitting up on our mat. From here, we want to go ahead and scoot forward to the front edge of the mat, hang on to our ankles, and we're going to roll like a ball. So we have our knees as wide as the shoulders. We're hanging on to the outsides of the ankles. Our heels are close to the tush. We are in a C curve, and we rock back just to the base of the shoulder blades, and we use our abdominal connection to catch ourselves and come back. So we're going to practice that little catch first, and then you can take it with you, rocking back, scoop those abs in and up. Now, if you're not feeling that connection, go back to that little prep where you rock back a few vertebrae and then you scoop to draw forward. Rounding back, scoop those abs in and up to come up. Again, rock back and scoop and draw back up. Breathing through your work here. Make sure your feet don't touch the mat. And then when you come all the way back up, you can lower down and we grab our hand weights. We're going to sit with our legs crisscrossed. We want to take one weight in each hand. Arms are rounded out to the side. We make as much space between the hips and the rib cage as possible. We're going to reach the arms in front of us in a rounded position and then open up. So it's like we're hugging a tree. Our elbows are lower than our shoulders. Our wrists are lower than our elbows. We want to sit as tall as we can. Reach those arms forward and float them open. Reaching in front of you and then opening up. Think of sitting even taller, lengthening through the crown of the head, giving a little squeeze of those glutes together. Make sure your rib cage is not flaring out. And we're going to relax those arms for a second. We're going to draw our arms rounded out to the sides and we reach up and overhead, framing the face and floating the arms open. Again, we reach up and overhead, tap the fingertips and float those arms open. We keep a soft bend to the elbows the entire time, and that should not change. Relax the shoulders, reaching up and over like you're hugging the moon, and then float those arms open. Again, reach up and over and float. Still sitting tall with lots of space between the hips and the rib cage. Float those arms open and relax the arms back down. Crisscross your weights, take your hands and the weights to the back of the head, and we're going to lengthen up on a diagonal line and then bend the elbows, graze the back of the head to lower down, like you're shaving the hair off of the back of your head. Lengthen up and bend. Get that squeeze through the back of the arm. Extend and bend. Get that nice length. Come halfway in and pulse 1 inch up and 1 inch down, 1 inch up and 1 inch down. Lengthen up all the way. Bend those elbows and lower the arms back down. We're going to set one weight out of the side. One hand is very close to your face, your elbow, your hand, your shoulder in a straight line. And we reach up towards the ceiling and then bend to lower, like you're shaving the side of your face. Lengthen up and bend. Breathing through it, relax your shoulders. As you're here, make sure you're not leaning to the side away from that work with that arm. And we're going to switch sides so your left hand has that weight. And we lift and lower that arm. We want to lengthen up and bend to lower, like you're grazing the side of the face. You're shaving the hair off the side of your head. You're lifting up and lowering, lifting up. Your elbow stays in line with that shoulder. Lift and lower. lifting and lowering, and then you can relax that arm back down. We're going to set both of those weights out of our way. We'll make our way back to laying on our backs. For you guessed it, we're going into series of 5. Pull that right knee into the chest, outside hand to the ankle, inside hand to the knee. Left leg long, chest is up, and switch to the left leg. Inhale with our right leg. We exhale, switch to the left. Inhale, right leg draws in, and exhale, switch. Outside hand on the ankle, right hand, right ankle, left hand, left ankle. Right knee in, left knee in. Pull both knees in, relax the head if you need. Otherwise, we go right into our double leg stretch. Legs go forward as our arms reach back in line with our ears. We exhale, hug the knees in. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, draw back in. Heels together, toes apart. Hug the knees back in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, draw back in. Take a rest if you need. Otherwise, right leg up, left leg long. And we switch with 2 long legs. Grab high up towards your ankle. Keep that chest lifted. Inhale with the right leg. And exhale, switch. Inhale, right leg draws up. Try to keep 2 long legs and switch to the left. Reach long out of the hips. Try to straighten out those legs. Stretch out those hamstrings. 2 legs up, hands behind the neck and head. Lower 2 legs forward now, and we lift. Inhale, lengthen and lower. Exhale, navel to spine to draw up. Inhale, lower and lift. Reach long out of the hips. Sink the navel to spine to lift. One more. Inhale, lengthen and lower. Exhale, up to 90 degrees. Pull the right knee in, left leg long. Twist up and over to the right leg and switch to the left. Inhale, twist the left shoulder to the right knee, then the right shoulder to the left knee. Keep your hips anchored and then switch sides. Make sure your hips are not lifting. You're twisting from above the hips. Inhale, up and over to the right. Hold and breathe. Exhale, over to the left. Hold and breathe. And we can relax back down. Take a second. Plant your feet, chin towards chest. Round your way all the way back up to sitting up on the mat. We're taking it up. We're going to stand up on the mat. You can take weights with you if you'd like to work the arms as well. Feet are hip bone distance apart. And we're going to step that right leg forward. We want to get that right knee over the ankle. The left foot stays back, and we're going to flip the palms forward. Bend that left knee as we curl our arms. Lengthen the knee as you lengthen the arms. So we're getting bicep curls. We're lowering down and lifting up. I want you to squeeze your glutes. Bend that left knee and extend. Your right knee remains over your ankle. We're going to lower down, stay low, and we're going to do 5 bicep curls, extending and bending just to our 90-degree bend. After our 5th curl, we're going to hold it and then pulse down an inch and up an inch. Squeeze those glutes. Breathe through your work. Lower and lift down an inch and up an inch, and step forward. We'll turn around, feet are hip bone distance apart once again, and we're going to get the left side. So we're going to step our left leg forward, and we want our left knee over our ankle. Our right heel is lifted. Palms are in towards our sides as we bend and extend the arms, and we bend and extend that right leg. We're trying to get into the triceps a bit more, so our elbows can be lifted a little bit higher than our spine. We lower and lift, lower down through both legs, lift up just through that back leg, and we're going to stay low as we bend and extend the arms 5 times total, squeezing through the back of the arm to get into the tricep. And we hold the arms long as we lower and lift through both legs, squeezing those glutes. Pulse it out. Breathe through your work and step forward. From here, we are standing sideways on our mat, nice and wide for a sumo squat. We're going to be bending our knees right over the ankles. So we have our heels towards the midline, toes facing out, and we lower down with rounded arms out to the side. And we're going to reach the arms forward and float open for our hug a tree, this time in a squat. I want you to feel those inner thighs firing up. Relax your shoulders, your tailbones lengthening straight down. The shoulders are staying right over the hips. And I want you to challenge yourself to be as low in your squat as you can be. Arms reach forward, and we pulse down an inch and up an inch. Connect into those inner thighs. Connect into the glutes. Breathe through your work. Squeeze. And we slowly as you possibly can. Stand up. Float the arms open. Take a second. We're going to go into a second squat. This time our arms are rounded out to the side, palms towards the ceiling. Lower down. We reach overhead once again and float those arms open. I am cut off by the camera here, but I am letting my fingertips touch at the top. Arms are rounded around my head like I'm hugging a moon or framing my face. I lift up and over. I feel my inner thighs burning. I'm going to pulse down an inch and up an inch. Squeeze my glutes. Breathe through that work. And float the arms open and slowly, slowly, slowly stand up. From here, we are going to no longer need to do any more squats. I decided I was going to go for a third and then I tapped out here. We can set those weights aside, and we are next going to lay on our stomach on the mat. Whenever hands under our shoulders, our legs are long, heels together, toes apart. We're going to go into our cobra lift. So you're going to use your lower back extensors to lift and lower the chest. Your arms are not pressing you up. We're going to inhale, lift up, and then we exhale, lower back down. I want you to use that navel to spine connection. We inhale, lift, and we lower. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, lift, and exhale. We can lower back down. We're going to grab weights, take the arms out to a T, hover an inch over the floor, or sweep your long arms back to the hips as your chest lifts up, and draw the arms out wide to a T as you lower back down. The weights are optional. If you feel any tension in your shoulder, just do the arm sweeps without the weights. Chest lifts up, arms sweep back, lower the chest, arms hover over the floor. Again, inhale to sweep back, and we exhale to lower. And then we can go ahead and set those weights back down, and we will press back into a child's pose, stretching out that spine. Anytime you take extension, you want to get a little bit of forward flexion. So that's why we always like to do a nice child's pose. Round up one vertebrae at a time. And then from here, we are going to make our way to our hands and knees, or your elbows under your shoulders, and we step the feet back to find a plank. Upper back is filled up, and you're just holding your nice and stable plank. If you are on your elbows, make sure your elbows are as wide as your shoulders. If you have long arms, just make sure we're not locking out at the elbows. We're using our abs, and then we can lower down and take a quick second for another child's pose. We're going in for a modified plank push-up. So we're going to be on our hands and knees. So a plank from the knees up, and for a more advanced version, we extend that right leg behind us. And we're going to lower and lift the chest by bending and extending our arms. I want your elbows closely in to your sides so we get into our triceps rather than letting those elbows go out wide. That leg extension is giving us a little bit extra work. And now we're going to switch. The left leg is long if you're doing that. And if you don't want to do this version, if it's too much, just keep both knees down. Push-ups are hard enough as it is. I don't know why I've decided to make it more of a challenge. But we want to keep those elbows closely into the side. Make sure your back is staying long. You're not letting your butt stay high as you lower the chest. The whole body lowers and lifts. And we can go ahead and find another child's pose here. We'll round up one vertebrae at a time. Neck and head are our last thing to come up, and we are going to grab our weights once again, and we are laying on our back with them here. So one weight in each hand. We're going to lengthen our arms up to the ceiling, palms facing forward. Our arms are over our shoulders, and we're just going to sweep the arms down long past the hips and float back up, pausing over the shoulders. Inhale, the arms will sweep down, rib cages knit. We exhale, float back up, pausing right over the shoulders. Inhale, arms sweep down, we float back up. Keep your tailbone heavy on the mat, keep your feet planted, widen through the collarbone, relax the shoulders, arms sweep down, we float back up. We're going to extend the right leg long, our knees are drawn together. Sweep the arms down, take them out to the side and up to the ceiling. Arms go down, out wide to the side and back up. With that extension of our right leg, we are able to get into our right oblique. If you want a super challenge, you can also lift that left foot so you're in tabletop for that left leg instead of the foot being planted. And we're going to go ahead and switch. So our left leg is long, our right foot's planted. The arms go out wide to the side, into the hips and up. We reverse our arm circles. Shoulders are staying flush on the mat. Rib cage is staying knit. Tailbone is staying heavy. We're sinking our navel to spine. Arms go wide out to the side, into the hips, and float. Out to the side, into the hips, and float back up. And then we can bend the knee, lower the feet down, and we're just going to sweep both arms down as we lift the chest up to gaze at the navel point, and then we lower back down. our feet are staying planted, and we can take them back to hip bone distance apart. Rounding up, get that little fold at the base of your rib cage, and then float the arms up as we lower the head. We're going to sweep the arms down, lift the legs to tabletop. Continue with the arm sweeps. Keep that chest lifted for our challenge. Right leg goes long. We lower down, and we sweep the arms, lift the chest up. Left leg goes long. We bend it back. Arms float up. We sweep the arms down. Right leg goes long. Bend the knee back. Arms float up. Arms sweep back, down. Left leg goes long. We bend it back. And arms float up. We lower the neck and head. Go ahead and relax your arms. Relax your feet down. Drop the knees to the left. Look to your right. Come back to center. Knees to the right. Look to your left. And come back to center here. Get those weights out of your way. And from here, your feet are hip bone distance apart. We tuck our pelvis, lift the hips up to the ceiling, squeeze the glutes, find a bridge, and slowly round your way right back down. Inhale, tuck that pelvis, lift those hips up, squeeze the cheeks, and round your way right back down. Tailbone lengthens onto the mat. Again, tuck that pelvis and lift. We're going to pulse the hips up an inch and down an inch. Lift and lower, squeeze those glutes, pulse it out, breathe through it, and we round right back down. We're going to do single leg bridging now. So we're going to lift the hips up, extend the right leg up to the ceiling, and then we lengthen that right leg forward and lift it up. Lengthen and lower that right leg and kick it up to the ceiling. Lengthening and lowering and lifting. You want to keep your hips nice and even, and we're going to keep that leg up to the ceiling as we pulse up, 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 up. Squeeze those glutes, bend the knee, plant the foot, and round right back down. We're going to tuck the pelvis and lift right back up. This time the left leg goes up to the ceiling. Your hips stay even. Long left leg. We lengthen and lower the leg forward and lift. Inhale to lower and lift. We are reaching long out of that hip socket, using our navel to spine connection. We lower the leg and lift. Keep the leg up to the ceiling. Pulse the hips up, 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 up. Squeeze those glutes. Bend the knee. Plant the foot. And round your way right back down. Tailbone is heavy on the mat. Lengthen the left leg on the mat. Lengthen the right leg on the mat. Reach the arms back. And we are rounding up, reaching up and over towards our feet. We round right back down, keeping the arms in line with our ears. Try to keep those feet planted. Chin towards chest. We're going to round our way up, scoop the abs in and up as we reach forward, and keep that navel to spine connection as we round down. So we're not collapsing onto ourselves as we forward fold. We're making this really active C curve as you reach up and over, and continue to take that C curve with you as you round right back down. Arms stay in line with your ears, feet stay on that mat, chin towards chest, rounding up, scoop those abs in and up, and then slowly round your way right back down. Again, chin towards chest, rounding up, reach up and over, and then get that scoop, relax your shoulders, slowly, slowly, slowly round right back down. Go ahead and pull up your pants if they had fallen down from that one. They inevitably always do. Plant the feet, chin towards chest, round your way all the way up to sitting, and we will make our way to our hands and knees. We're going to have our hands right underneath our shoulders, and our knees are going to be right underneath the hips in a quadruped position. On our inhale, right arm reaches forward, left leg goes back, find your balance. Exhale, lower left arm, right leg reaching, and we lower. Inhale, reach long, right arm, left leg. Keep that upper back filled up. Elbow to knee meet in and underneath you as we reach back out. You find your neutral spine. Get that scoop through the belly as your elbow and knee meet, and then nice flat back as you reach back out. Right elbow to the left knee, and then we lower the hand, lower the knee. Left arm, right leg, elbow to knee meet underneath you, and you reach it back out. Elbow to knee and reach. Get that scoop and lengthen back out. Elbow to knee. And one more here. We lower the hand, lower the knee. Round through your center like a scared Halloween cat, and then coming back, we just take one more child's pose, sitting back on your heels. We can round up one vertebrae at a time. Find your weights for your chest expansion. We are either going to kneel with our knees hip bone distance apart, or you can stand up on your mat, palms face back, sweep the arms back, Look to your right, look to your left, look back to center, and float the arms forward. Sweep your arms back, look to your left, look to your right, look straight ahead, the arms can float forward. Arms sweep back, look to your right, look to your left, look back to center, and float the arms forward. Sweeping back, look left, look right, look straight ahead, and float the arms forward. Widen through the collarbone, open up the chest, arms sweep back, look to your right, look to your left, back to center, arms can float forward, grow taller, squeeze the glutes, arms go back, look left, look right, back to center, arms float forward, arms sweep straight back, and just pulse them back, 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 back. Get that squeeze through the back of the arm, make sure your rib cage is staying knit, and float those arms forward. Go ahead and set your weights out of the way, and our timer's going off for our first 25 minutes. And that is our 25-minute workout for today. If you want a 50-minute workout, stick with me. We've got another half coming your way. If not, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to tell all your friends. And I'll see you guys next time. Happy New Year. All right, I'm going to start my timer back up. Another 25 minutes for us here. And we're getting on our back again. As we lay back, we can make it a roll down, and then we lengthen the arms into the mat. We're gonna lift the legs up to the ceiling, right over our hips, heels together, toes apart. Drawing circles down to the right, finish that circle up around to the left, and then reverse it. We wanna make sure our hips are not lifting off of the mat. We're using our obliques, and we're reversing each time. Inhale as we start, exhale to complete it. Inhale as we start, and exhale to complete it. Back around from the right to the left, and the left to the right. And then we can bend the knees. Let's lengthen our left leg on the mat, and we're gonna extend the right leg up to the ceiling, grab to the back of that right thigh. Try to keep your left heel pressing into the mat. And on our inhale, chin towards chest, we're going to round up towards our leg using our abs and climbing up our leg up towards our ankle until we've rocked up onto our sit bones. Grab high up towards the ankle, knee to the nose, and we slowly round our way down all the way to laying on that mat. Again, chin towards chest, rounding your way up, climbing up towards your ankle. Sit tall, knee to the nose, find that C curve, and slowly climb your way right back down. We've got one more on this side. Keep that right leg right where it is. Climb your way up. Use your abs. Get that hamstring stretch. And then slowly round your way all the way back down. Lower the right leg to the mat. Lift the left leg up. Grab to the back of that left thigh. Right heel presses into that mat. Chin towards chest. Rounding all the way up. Sit tall. Knee to the nose. Find that C curve. And slowly round right back down. Again, chin towards chest, get that scoop, shoulders down, rounding up, grab high up towards your ankle, knee to the nose, and slowly, slowly, slowly round right back down. One more on this side, chin towards chest, rounding up, sit up nice and tall, knee to the nose, get that scoop, and slowly round all the way back down, laying back down onto the mat, lowering our left leg down to the mat here. We are going to bend the knees and plant the feet hip bone distance apart. Chin towards chest, round up all the way to sitting. We're going to go ahead and grab our weights once again, and we are either kneeling or standing, like how we ended our last 25-minute stretch. Palms are going to flip up to the ceiling, and we bend our arms to a 90-degree bend and lengthen them back out. We want our elbows to be right in front of our shoulders. Our tailbone is lengthening straight down. We want to engage the lats at the base of the shoulder blades, squeeze the glutes, keep that navel to spine connection. Curling just to a 90-degree bend. You're not trying to touch your own shoulders. You stop the hands right over the elbows and then lengthen them forward. Curling up to 90 degrees, we're going to do little pulses here, up an inch and down an inch, up an inch and down an inch, and then lengthen the arms, lower them back down, relax the shoulders. Palms are facing forward. We sweep the arms up to eyebrow height, circle them out back into the hips. Sweep straight forward and then circle outwards back into the hips. Make sure your arms do not go behind your body. Sweeping up, circle out, back to the hips. Inhale to sweep forward. Exhale as you circle out and back in. And then we reverse, circle out to the sides and forward, lower straight down. circle out to the sides, bring the arms forward, and lower straight down. Tailbones lengthening down towards the mat, relax the shoulders, arms circle out and draw forward, and we lower. One more here, arms circle out, draw forward, and we lower back down. We're going to flip the palms to face downwards, arms are up, we're bending and extending that right elbow out wide to the side, the arms are at shoulder height. And then we're going to add a rotation from above the hips, twist to follow that right elbow, untwist to center. We're going to think of growing taller with each rotation that we make, and we're doing 5 total. And then we're doing just the bend and extend with that left arm to start. Arms are at shoulder height, and we are feeling that hold of that right arm. That right arm should be getting tired, and we twist with that left elbow now. So we rotate to follow the elbow and untwist, the arm goes forward. Grow taller as you twist and untwist and draw forward. Lower the arms down, relax the shoulders. From here, we are going to float that right arm out to the side, flip the palm up to the ceiling, reach up and over to the left, come back, lower the palm down and lower the arm. The left arm goes out, the palm flips as we go up and over. The arm lowers back down to the side, we flip the palm down and we lower the arm. Again, right side lift, flip, reach up and over, draw back, flip and lower, left side lift, flip, go up and over, draw back, flip and lower, one more each side, right arm lift, flip, go up and over, back out, flip and lower, left side lift, flip, up and over, draw the arm back out, flip and lower back down. We can set our weights out of the way, and we are going to, from here, lay down on one of our sides. So you want to line your back up with the edge of the mat. Shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked, legs are drawn to the tabletop in front of you. Knees are in line with the hips, ankles are right under the knees. Your top hand is a kickstand, top leg floats up to hip height, and then we open that tabletop leg up to the ceiling, and we lower down to hover at hip height. We lift, squeeze the glutes, we lower to hover. Inhale, lift, and exhale, lower to hover. Again, lifting up, make sure you're not rolling back off of your stabilizing hip, and you lower back to hover at hip height. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. As you're doing this work, let's squeeze the glutes, lower down to hover at hip bone height. Inhale, lift it up, and then lower back down. Again, inhale to lift, we lower to our hover, inhale it up, lower to that hover, and draw donut-sized circles with your knee. Reach long out of your hip socket, straight through that knee, squeeze those glutes, breathe through your work, little circles. Let's reverse the direction. Keep circling it about. Little guys here, squeeze those glutes, breathe through it, and lower the leg down. Heels are glued together, lift your knee up and lower, squeeze the thighs. Knee lifts up and then lower down. Your heels do not separate. We're doing our clams here. So think of a hinge from the hip and a hinge from the heel. We lift that knee up, we lower that leg down. Again, we inhale to lift, exhale to lower. Lifting up, we hold at the top for little pulses to open up, 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 and lower the leg down. Let's lengthen our legs to the front corner of the mat. Your hips are in line with that back edge. The leg is at hip height, and we inhale, sweep it forward, up in line with our hip. We exhale, sweep it back behind the other leg. We want to make sure our leg stays at hip height. So as we're doing this, we don't want our leg to lift and lower as we sweep. You don't want it to lift higher towards the ceiling or drop towards your midline. Think as if it is just that same plane of motion. Making sure we're not rocking back and forth. You want to stay stable on your bottom hip. We want to inhale, sweep forward. We exhale to draw back. Line the legs up and circle the leg the size of a cantaloupe. Reach long out of your hip socket, straight through those toes. Breathing through our circles, squeezing those cheeks as we do this, and we'll reverse the direction. And as we're doing these circles, we want to reach nice and long so you're not bending that knee. You're keeping that movement coming from the femur bone. Lower the leg down, point your foot, lift your leg up, and then we flex and lower it back down. We point, inhale, lift, we flex, lengthen, and lower. Lift your leg up as high as you can without rolling back. Lower down all the way to your other leg. You want to point and lift and flex to lower. Flex to lift now. Now you point and lower. Flex, inhale, lift, point, lengthen, and lower. As you're doing this work, make sure you're getting your 2 foot positions, flexing the whole way up and pointing the whole way down. Do not start lowering until you've changed your foot position. Point the foot, now lift up to hip height. Sweep the leg forward, circle it up and behind the other leg for your rond de jambe. Sweeping forward, circle it up and back. Your leg will only lower to hip height, and we sweep it forward again. We do 5 in one direction, and then we will reverse it, sweeping backwards, arcing up and forward. Sweep it backwards, arc up and forward. Reach long out of your hip socket, get that squeeze underneath your cheek, sweep back, circle up and around, and then we'll lower that leg down. You can just take a second, you might want to punch out your glute, and then we're going to lengthen our legs in line with us, lengthen our arm underneath us. So we're in one straight line. Keep the legs together, and you're going to lift up both legs and lower. I want you to make sure you're not rocking forward. You are using your front hand, your top hand as a kickstand. We're lifting up through both legs. Don't let them separate, and lower down to touch the mat. You're going to lift your top leg up to hip height now, and just the bottom leg is going to lift and lower, reaching long out of the hips. That top leg floats. That bottom leg is going to lift and lower back down. Again, lift and lower. Breathing through it. Let's relax both legs down. Roll onto your stomach. Hands go under the forehead. Lift up through both legs, and then beat those heels together. Clicking, squeezing those glutes. Click those heels together. Open and close those legs. Breathe through it. Open and close, open and close, open and close. And rest down. I've got some great news for you today. We get to do a second side. You guessed it, we're going to flip and do it all over again, laying on your other side. Line your back up with the edge of the mat and draw your legs in front of you to tabletop, knees in front of the hips, ankles under the knees, top leg floats up, and we open that leg up to the ceiling and we lower to hover. We want to make sure that as we're here, we have our shoulders stacked and our hips stacked, and we are not rolling backwards off of our stabilizing hip. We're going to lift, squeeze the glutes, and lower to hover. Your ankle, shin, and knee should be in a straight line. You are not letting that ankle lead or lag. Lifting up and lower to hover at hip bone height. Inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Breathing through your work. We're going to lower down to hover at hip height. And here we'll draw our donut-sized circles. Little guys here, the size of a small donut. Squeezing those glutes, circling that knee about. Let's reverse the direction of our circle. Breathing through it. Relax the shoulders, little circles. And we'll lower down. Keep your heels together. Lift that knee up and lower down. I want you to open and close the leg. Don't let the heels separate. Lift and lower. As we're doing this work, we do not want to let the heels separate. We lift that knee as high as you can, and you lower to touch the other leg. We're going to lift and pulse it up, 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 and lower down. Lengthen the legs to the front corner. Floating your top leg up to hip height, point that foot, inhale, sweep it forward, and exhale, draw back. I want you to make sure you're not rocking back and forth off of your stabilizing hip. If you feel yourself rocking, you might not sweep quite as large. So we are keeping that leg at hip height, inhale it forward, exhale, draw back. You want to make sure that as you're doing this work, you are getting that extra little squeeze and lift underneath that glute. Inhale it forward, exhale it back, point that foot, and we line the legs up and we circle now a little bit bigger than our donuts. We're doing cantaloupe-sized circles, reaching long out of your hip socket, point that foot, squeeze those glutes, make sure your femur bone is rotating in your hip socket, and we'll reverse it. Reaching long out of that hip, squeeze those cheeks, breathing through it, circling it about, lower the leg down, point the foot, inhale, lift the leg up, flex, lengthen, and lower. We point, inhale, lift, and we flex to lower down. Pointing up, flexing down. Inhale it up, exhaling down. One more here, point to lift and flex to lower. Now you flex your foot to lift and you point, lengthen, and lower. Flex, lift, and point, lower. Flex, inhale, lift, point, lengthen, and lower. Reach long out of the hip. Point that foot as you lower down, flex to lift, and point to lower all the way. Float your leg back up to hip height, sweep it forward, arc it up and behind your other leg. Inhale, sweep forward, circle it up and back. Reach long out of your hip socket. Make sure you're not wobbling off of that stabilizing hip. Sweep it forward, circle up and behind your other leg. And then we reverse, sweep backwards, arc it up and forward. Inhale, sweep back, circle up and around. Reach long out of that hip. Keep going, sweep back, arc up and forward. One more, sweep it back, arc up and forward. And lower the leg down. Lengthen your legs in line with you. Lengthen your arm underneath you. Lift up through both legs. Keep them hugging together and lower all the way to the mat. Lift both legs and lower. Squeeze the cheeks. Squeeze those thighs together. Don't let your legs separate. If they separate, you might be lifting too high. We're going to go ahead and lift one more time and lower. Once again, and we lift that top leg up to hip height as the bottom leg lifts to meet it, and we lower. We lift and lower. Reaching long out of your hip sockets. Your bottom leg is doing that work. Your top leg is hovering, and we can lower both legs down. Punch out that glute. Lay on your stomach, hands under the forehead. Bend the knees, heels together, knees are wide. Kick your heels to the tush, and then float the feet up to the ceiling, lifting your quads off of the mat and drawing back down. Careful, because the feet like to get further away from the glutes. We want to keep the legs really bent inwards towards you, and we press your pelvis into the mat. We lift the legs up and we pulse it up, 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 up. Squeeze the glutes, and we lower it back down. We can go ahead and press back into a child's pose, which means we're sitting on our heels and reaching our arms forward, and then we round up one vertebrae at a time. Our neck and head are the last thing to come up. We're flipping around to sit with our feet planted and our knees bent, and we're just going to find a C curve rocking back onto our sacrum, and we can have a sweatshirt or a ball behind us here, but hands are over the belly button, and we're rocking back a few vertebrae and drawing back up. You might have done this exercise before with a fit ball back there or a sweatshirt rolled up, so you have a little bit of a feedback. But we're not rolling too far back. Think of moving maybe 4 vertebrae back and 4 vertebrae back up. We stay rounded the whole time. We want to get that little shake of the abs as we hinge. Relax the shoulders, scoop the abs in and up to draw forward. Breathing through it. Again, hinging from the hips to round back, and then drawing our way back up. Rounding back, relax the shoulders. And then coming all the way up, we can sit tall, hands behind the neck and head with a flat back. You're going to hinge, and then you come back up and restack. Again, flat back hinge, get that shake, and then come right back up. Hinging back, get that shake from your transverse abdominis and come right back up. Sit taller, keeping that length in your spine. Your rib cage is knit, your feet are planted. And then you come right back up. Again, hinge and breathe through it. Hinge and hold that shake. Come right back up. Breathing into that last shake here. Hinge and hold. And then coming up. Hinge and hold. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Shake away and restack the vertebrae. And from here, we're going to go ahead and lay back down onto our mat. Now, if you have any neck injuries, this one might not be for you. You want to have some space behind you, so you might need to scoot down on your mat. We're doing an inversion. So arms are by your side, legs lift up. Extend the legs in a Pilates V. Lift up and over, tap the floor with your feet, then tap a second time, separating your feet to hip bone distance. And we round down one vertebrae at a time. The legs go back to our Pilates V. We go up and over, tap the floor behind you. Separate the feet hip bone distance. Keep your feet flexed. Try to keep your legs parallel to the mat as you round your way back down. When your legs draw back out in front of you, return to your Pilates V. Go up and over once again. Tap the floor. Separate the feet hip bone distance. Tap once again. Keep your feet flexed and slowly round your way back down. Your feet will stay separated. You go up and over with separated legs. You tap the floor. Pilates V, you tap once again. Keep your heels together, toes apart, and slowly round your way down. When your tailbone lengthens, your legs draw out. Separate the feet. One more, up and over, tap. Pilates V, tap a second time. Heels together, toes apart. Slowly, slowly, slowly round your way back down. And then we go up and over with separate feet once again, Pilates V once again, and we slowly round our way down, upper back, middle back, lower back, sacrum, tailbone lengthens back down. Bend your knees, lower your feet down, take a second, let your back settle into the mat. And then your feet are a little bit further away from you, so you can round your way all the way up with keeping those feet planted. Once you are all the way up to the top, we are going to make our way to setting up for a side plank. So we can be on our knees, or we can do a long-legged version, and we can be on a long arm or our elbow. And we're going to lift up into a side plank. Your shoulder is right over your elbow or right over your wrist. If you want to make it more of a challenge, lengthen your arm up to the ceiling. If you need support, try it with that hand touching down to the mat. We're just going to hold our plank and lower down. Now we're going to add to it on our second one, or you can do the same thing once again, but we get into our position. Then we're going to lower our hip down towards the mat and then lift back up with a little dip of the hip. Now if that's too much, just hold your stable side plank. But we're lowering and lifting that hip if you're up for that challenge, connecting into your oblique. And we lower down all the way. We're going to sit up, and we want to stretch out that shoulder that you just worked, draw that arm against you, and then we'll shimmy those shoulders out. Switch sides. Remember, you can be on your knees or a long-legged plank, elbow or long arm. Match your first side and lift up. And you can keep your hand on your hip or extend your arm up to the ceiling, and you're holding your first plank. We're breathing through it. We're keeping our lines nice and long. Our chest is open to the wall in front of us, and we lower. Now I want you to match what you did on your first side. So if you just held the stable plank, do that again. If you added the hip dip, we're doing that again. So plank number 2, find our position, option for that hip to dip down and lift back up if you are up for our challenge. Lower and lift. You want to connect into the obliques, really feeling the side of the body working. Lower and lift, and then you can lower down, sit up, and stretch out that shoulder. That arm will go across your chest as you hook with the other arm to gently press into it. And then you can round out those shoulders quite a bit. We're making our way back to the center for a plank right in the middle. So elbows or long arms, and we are keeping the shoulders over the elbows or the hands and just holding our navel to spine connection, nice long spine. Make sure that you are not feeling compression in that lower back and you're not letting your shoulders sink towards one another. You're really filled up. You might need a little tuck of the pelvis to lengthen that lumbar spine. And we're just breathing and holding, and we can lower down and sit back on our heels. Arms reach long, and we are going to lay on our stomach. Lengthen the arms and limb to your ears. Your legs are hip bone distance apart. Press your pelvis into the mat. Float over the mat, and we are swimming. Alternating, kicking the legs and moving the arms. We want this movement to come from the hips and the shoulders and the lower back extensors. We're not bending the knees. We're not fluttering our kick from the knee or the ankle. And we lower down. Let's go ahead and take another child's pose. A little bit more of a stretch for the back. Or you can do some cat-cow, rounding through the center. Drop the head to look at your belly button. And then find your neutral spine. We are from here, keeping the knees under the hips, and float the knees now over the mat. We're going to pull that right knee into your right elbow. Your hands are under your shoulders. And now left side, that left knee is going to pull in, then you plant your foot down. You're hovering over the mat the whole time, and then we can lower it back down. Round out your wrists if you feel any compression in them from that. And we are from here, grabbing to the insides of our ankles like our rolling like a ball. We click the heels together, we rock back, click the heels together, and come back up. It's a double click for our seal. So that's similar to our rolling like a ball from earlier. We want to use our abs for this. We want our heels to stay very close. But we add a quick double click at the top, double click when you're back, and come back up. Option to make a little seal noise here. Makes it so much more fun. Little art, art. Round it back. Art, art. Come back up. Art, art. Option. Totally optional, but I do promise it will burn more calories. Get that scoop through the center, come back up, shoulders are gliding down and back, and you can go ahead and lower your feet back down to the mat. We're going to lay back down on our back. Right leg is long, cross your left ankle over your right knee, nice little figure 4 stretch here. You can bend that right knee into tabletop, opening up that left hip flexor, breathing through your work, taking a second. Your left leg is long on the mat. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, opening up through that hip flexor. You do have that option of pulling your left leg into tabletop, holding it here, opening up through that hip flexor, taking a second here. Both legs can come up to the ceiling. We're going to stretch those legs to get into the hamstrings, breathing through it. Soles of the feet together, opening up our hip flexors, and we can rock ourselves up. We're going to go ahead and stand up on the mat, standing tall, heels together, toes apart, chin towards chest. We'll round our way down one vertebrae at a time. Our neck and head go heavy. Hover over the mat with the fingertips and draw loose pendulum circles with your arms. Let that neck and head stay nice and heavy. Don't bob around through the torso. Let the arms be dead weight. Let's reverse the circles with our arms. Keep that neck and head heavy as you shake the head no. Arms have come to a stop. We shake the head yes. And then your neck comes to a stop. We will slowly begin to restack, rounding up through that lumbar spine, through the thoracic spine into our cervical spine, which is our neck, and then our head will finally lift up. We stand tall and round those shoulders back. 3, 2, 1. Round them forward. 3, 2, 1. And our second timer is going off. And that is it. That is the end of our 25 and our 50-minute workout. Great job to you. That is our last free YouTube workout of 2020. This whole thing has been new to me as far as making videos, and it was a goal of mine as a New Year's resolution for 2020 was to make videos for Pilates Punx. I did not anticipate why I would be making videos, but I definitely have accomplished that goal. So I look forward to making more of these and doing more with this platform in 2021. And I hope that you guys continue to work out with me and have a really happy New Year. Thank you so much for sticking with me so far. Please don't forget to subscribe, tell other people, tell your friends. And if you're looking to add any of the props that we use in our workouts into your workout, check out the links below. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Great job. All right, that's enough of that. There's a reason that I teach Pilates and I don't dance.